Hi, this is Dominic Beechnow from Kaizen Coaching. And in this video, I thought I would speak to you about decision making because often people want to make better decisions. They don't necessarily understand what happens once they've made a decision and why challenges occur. And actually, then they go back to going, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should think like that. And so I just thought if I just map out the journey for people, then it makes a lot more clarity, gives you a lot more clarity. It makes a lot more sense. If we understand why things happen, we tend to accept them more easily. Also, we can see the journey. And if we see the journey, then we know what to expect. And it just helps us along the way. So let me just share my screen. Oops, just close that one. So I just literally created this today. So please forgive some of the diagram. Anyway, here's you and all your thinking, and these little dots represent lots of little small thoughts that you have all day, every day. We have around 30 to 70,000 thoughts every day. And usually these thoughts are not random, but they actually start to conglomerate and lead towards a point of decision. And at that time, that's when you go, oh, yes, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, because the word decision means to cut off, right? Just cut off your other options and go with this decision, whether it's a, changing job or accepting a job offer or asking someone to marry you or whatever it might be. I'm going to lose weight. Whatever decision you make at that point is to cut off what you were previously doing effectively. And at that point, you then commit to your new decision, your new reality. But here's what happens. Your old identity of how you see yourself is effectively now doing battle with your new identity of what you would like to create in your life. And this is why we tend to have difficulties and challenges, and there's a bit of chaos and disorder in our lives because we've made this decision, this commitment to, let's say, for example, getting fit, losing weight. And we're having to deal with, maybe the ways of eating in the house that we're used to rather than the new way of eating that we need to implement. Maybe you're struggling with going to the gym because, it's just, you have to get there, you have to get changed, and you're creating all this difficulty in your mind, all these thoughts which are kind of chaotic, and you're struggling. So at that point, that's where people often really just give up and go back. They're effectively they're losing the battle against their will and they lose the battle and go back to their old identity of being that person who maybe doesn't go to the gym or doesn't eat in a certain way, for example. So they give up and they go back to their thinking and debating, and they sort of go back to their old identity effectively. But instead, someone who succeeds is someone who is consistent about the courage that they choose to have. So courage is the embodiment of commitment. So when you're committing to something, you don't know about the future, but you're going to commit to it, and you're going to be courageous in the face of fear, and you're going to do it anyway. And you're going to do it by building discipline, by building habits. And once you've built those habits, that's when you begin to see your new identity. That's when you begin to see how, the new you, the new reality that is your life. So that's the decision-making process, and that's what happens. And in order to make better decisions, because some people will make a fast decision and then regret it, and this loop is pretty fast. Other people won't even get to the decision point and will never decide on anything, and they just end up, thinking loads and never committing to anything, and that's why their life tends to stay the same. But here's a little tip about improving decision-making. Consider these questions. They're known as the 5 seagulls on the rugby post. I'll tell you why in a second. But the first question is why? Why are you doing it? Why is the purpose and the driver behind your decision? Why would you do it in the first place? Is it because you want more money? And why do you want more money? Because you want a better life. Why do you want a better life? Because you want to be able to enjoy it more with your family, or maybe you want more time, etc. Always consider why first. Then what? What does it look like? We picture our lives in terms of the future, in terms of a vision of what we see. I mean, everything you can see in front of you right here, right now, right, was originally a thought, a picture in someone's mind, and through the actions, they made it a reality. So first question is why, then what, then who? Are you the right person to be doing this? Should you be doing it with someone? Do you need to get a personal trainer? Do you need to get a coach or a mentor to help you do it? Who is a really important question to enable you to do it. Because some people, you know, we all have a skill set. We're all good at certain things, but actually if we're trying to do something we're not very good at, it's better to get someone else to do it so that we can focus on our highest value tasks and the things that we're best at and where we're in flow. And that who question is the third one. That's really important. Then it's the when, because we need to understand the time frame. And lastly, it's the how. The how is basically the steps you take, and that's where you consistently are courageous and you are consistently creating those habits that allow you to get there. The how are the daily steps you take, or the hourly steps you take, depending on what you're doing, to create that new reality once you've made a decision. So don't worry about the how. Some people get stuck on that straight away and can't get anywhere, but you've got to think first why, then what, then who, then when, then how. That's the process of making a decision. If you've addressed all of those, then you can make the decision knowing it's a powerful decision. You commit to it, you know and expect there's going to be difficulty, it's going to be battles, it's going to be chaos. And that period of time when there's chaos could be a while. It really depends on how much thinking you do and what shows up. But the more you see yourself as that new reality, as that person who is that, has made that decision and that's part of their life, that's when things get easier, because it's just part of who you are and you know that you need to do whatever you need to do. Someone who's really fit, they don't think about doing exercise. It's just part of who they are. They've already factored it in when they're going to do it during the week. And so it's just normal. They don't even think about it. They just do it. They know that that's part of their routine. So whatever decision you want to create, how do you make it part of your routine? That's, I guess, the when question. Anyway, I'll stop rambling, but I thought that was a really interesting way to kind of picture the journey of decision making. So please like, share, comment. We'd love to know your thoughts, and I hope that's been useful. Give it a thumbs up and do subscribe if that's been useful too. Thank you.